Watch out for me, I'm about to glow. You better watch out for me, I'm about to glow. Your boy all glowed up.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about a subscriber request in-depth review on a particular indie brand called the Beauty Bakerie. The Beauty Bakerie is based out of San Diego, California, and we've gotten a couple of products here and we're going to talk about them. So if that is something you guys are interested in watching, then stay right where you are. We're about to get into it. Alright guys, so the Beauty Bakerie was established in 2011 by a young lady named Kashmir. Now Kashmir has had some trouble throughout the course of her life. At one point in time she was living on government assistance. She is a breast cancer survivor of a double mastectomy. She was a young single mother raising her child, so she is definitely no stranger to adversity. Now the mission statement behind the Beauty Bakerie is that you allow life and life's experiences to make you a better person, not bitter. So the mission statement is actually better, not bitter, which I think is a fantastic kind of life lesson for all of us, especially in the beauty industry. I feel like the last part of 2017, especially in the beauty guru genre on YouTube, I feel like things got very malicious. I feel like people were making videos with the sole intent of destroying somebody's life, and it's really the most vicious genre on YouTube to date. And I'm really hoping that going into 2018, that is the one thing that I hope the beauty community can change about itself, is that we can all work on becoming better individuals that are a lot more sensitive and a lot more about enhancing the beauty within before we even begin to talk about the beauty on the outside. I think out of all the communities on YouTube, the beauty community is probably the most ruthless and the most judgmental, the most drama-filled, and ironically, it's about beauty. And I think overall, we need an overhaul as a community, and I'm hoping going into 2018 that I am not the only beauty YouTuber out there that's going to make a pledge to stay more positive and make sure that everything as far as content is concerned that is put out there for subscribers to view comes from a positive place and a place of hope and happiness and good intent. Back to the review. Okay guys, so the Beauty Bakerie can be found in San Diego, California, but they also have an online store. So you can also buy all of these goodies, these baked goodies, online as well. So let's get right into the products. Okay guys, so getting into the first product, and the product I think that they are most known for, and that is their Lip Whip. Now when their Lip Whip launched on Instagram, it caused all kinds of a stir because of the longevity of the formula. And I will say this guys, once this stuff is on your lips, it is not coming off. So the one thing that I absolutely adore about the Beauty Bakerie is packaging, packaging, packaging. They really stuck with the whole bakery theme when it comes to their cosmetic products. This is no exception. So the Lip Whip comes in a little package that looks like this. It's absolutely adorable. You can see the shade of the Lip Whip right here, and it just has this really cute detailing all the way around, and then you slide out the product like this, and it's in its own little golden kind of shelf here, just like a presentation of a really nice chocolate or something that you would pick up from the bakery, some sort of little goodie inside of a really pretty box. Now the one thing that I will say about their matte liquid lip whip is that it's $20 for a tube of their lip whip, and I do think that that price is a little steep. So let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy. I have worn this a couple of times, and I will say this, guys, when this stuff goes on, it's not going anywhere. So I'm just going to swatch it for you here. First of all, the color is incredible. It is very opaque. It is very, very rich. The color is just absolutely stunning. I have nothing bad to say about the actual color itself. It is beautiful when it's on the lips. About 2 minutes later, it really dries down and really adheres to the lip. Now, if this lip whip is going to be as long lasting as they say it's going to, then it's going to dry down and it's not going to be the most comfortable formula in the world, and that is to be expected when you're talking about a long wearing liquid matte lipstick. However, this one is exceptionally uncomfortable when it dries down. It is incredibly dry. I feel like it does show any texture that you have on your lips, and for me, it was not the most comfortable formula in the world. So, to get the most out of your matte lip whip, if this is a product that you choose to purchase, and I absolutely can understand why somebody would want to purchase this. This stuff is basically like life proof. It's smudge proof, kiss proof. They even say it's waterproof, and honestly, guys, it lasts until you take it off. Some things that you can do in order to make it a little more comfortable to wear. Before you apply it, make sure that you exfoliate your lips. Get all the dead skin off of your lips. Go in with a lip scrub or some kind of exfoliation tool. Whatever you need to do, get your lips exfoliated. The next thing that you can do is drink a lot of water. Make sure that your lips are nice and plump and hydrated before putting a product like this on your lips. One thing you don't want to do is when you've applied it, don't smack your lips together. It's going to cause stickiness and it'll cause the product to move as well. Actually wait a good 60 seconds before doing anything to your lips, including putting on a second coat. Make sure that you wait at least a minute in between coats and don't put on more than 3 or it will start doing some funny stuff. Also, stay away from eating any oily or greasy food because that will cause the liquid lip to start breaking down. Don't use any lip balms that have an oil base because that will also start the lip whip to wear down. And when it comes to taking it off, you can actually use the lip whip remover that's sold on the website or any kind of oil that will break it down and take it off. I will say, just to show you, with a makeup wipe alone, it takes a lot. And this is what it looks like when it's dried down. So you can see how pretty it is when it's dried down. And it does take quite a bit for a makeup wipe to actually get this off. So you really, really want to go in with some sort of oil-based product to actually get it off. If not, you're going to be there with a makeup wipe for quite a while doing some really hard scrubbing to actually get it off your lips. And even then, you can still see traces of it left behind. So be prepared when you order this. Either order the remover or get an oil-based remover to make sure that you can take it off. So for me, the longevity of this product is actually really the only plus for me. So if you're going to do like a wedding or something where you genuinely need your lips not to move for a very long time, then I would consider this an option if you can deal with it being kind of dry and a little uncomfortable. Outside of that, for the everyday wear, this is just not for me. It's very high maintenance as far as being able to take it off and what you have to do to get it off. It's not very comfortable for me. Overall, for me, this is going to be a pass on the day-to-day, but I wouldn't mind using it on a bride or someone with the caveat that they know it's not going to be the most comfortable lipstick all day long. Next product I want to review with you is their eyelash icing. That's what they call it. And yes, it is just a mascara, but it is a $24 mascara. So expectations were kind of high going in on this one. As always, packaging is an absolute win. It comes in a little tube that looks like an icing tube. It's just too cute. They do claim that not only is this smudge proof, but it's also volumizing and lengthening. So there is a lot of claims going into this mascara. This is what the actual applicator looks like. It is like a spiraled hourglass shape. And I actually like these kind of applicators. To me, they do the best on my eyelashes. Now, they say that this is going to freeze your lashes in place all night long, waterproof. So I had a lot of expectations, especially that it's a $24 mascara. And I'll insert a clip of me wearing this mascara here. So for me, it actually looks good. I don't mind it. They do only have it in one color, and that's this really ink black kind of color. I will say this, though, it's not the blackest of the black that I've seen out there. The L'Oreal Voluminous Paradise Blackest Black is actually blacker than this. So this is black, but there are blacker ones out there. Number one. Number two, the formula itself is very dry. It's not very wet. Depending on preference, you may like a formula that's a little more nourishing feeling. If you're looking for that, this isn't going to be a mascara for you. This one is a little more on the dry side. Also, after about the 6-hour mark, I did notice some little flakes underneath here, and upon further examination of this formula, there actually is little fibers in the formula that you can see sticking out on the brush. Now, the reason for that is going to be the lengthening claim that they have, and it actually does add length to your lashes. But with any lengthening mascara that has those little fibers in them, as the day goes on, those little fibers tend to break off and they'll end up on your cheek, and that's just the price you pay for a mascara that is that type of formula, and this is one of them. So for me, overall, this mascara is going to be a pass, especially at the price point. I just expected it to do a little bit more and misbehave a little bit less. Alright guys, so that brings us to their next products, and that is the baking flour. And could you die? It's actually in little flour baking bags that I think are insanely cute. So just to really look at this packaging, guys, it looks like a little flour bag, even down to listing the nutritional facts on the side, calories, etc. It's just so cute. Baking tips are on the back. It even has some of the brand sayings on this side. It is the cutest packaging for baking powder that I have seen in a hot minute. And here's what they look like. I got the pink and I got the yellow, and it just says baking flour on the top, and then across the bottom it has their mission statement of better not bitter across the bottom. Isn't that cute? So each of these individual setting powders say that they have different functions. Both of these setting powders claim to be HD friendly and that they will mattify and smooth out fine lines and wrinkles. The pink setting powder claims to brighten your complexion, while the yellow setting powder claims to even out redness and kind of neutralize skin tone. Both of these setting powders claim to have a matte finish, and it also has a note in there because you can buy these individual at $24 a piece, or you can get them all together in a bundle. And it does have a note in there that says if you get them in a bundle, you may notice that they're filled differently, and that's because each one is milled differently. So some are more finely milled than others, and I did notice that with these two, it looks like there's less in the yellow and a little more in the pink, which tells me the yellow is a little more finely milled than the pink is. But genuinely, guys, when it comes to the use of these, they're both very finely milled. They are incredibly soft, incredibly silky. I do feel like they kind of do what they say. I feel like the pink one does brighten your complexion a little bit, and it does it without kind of leaving a pink hue on your face. I'll show you guys just what a very light dusting looks like. I'm just going to take a little bit of the product out of the actual lid, and we'll put a little bit of it right here. So as you can see, it doesn't like turn your face pink. It just is supposed to act like a setting powder and just mattify and even out skin tone. So for me, it's fine as a setting powder. It actually did help my makeup to last over the course of the day. I don't really feel like it did anything phenomenal for me. I just feel like it set my makeup and kind of performed like it should. Whereas like if I put the Laura Mercier on, I look at my face and I'm like, oh wow, it really does make my face look nice, and it has that little extra something. I don't feel like this has that. I feel like it's comparable with like the Coty Airspun setting powder. If I had to compare this to another setting powder out there on the market, I would actually compare it to the Perfect Peach setting powder by Too Faced. They're both pink hued, although this is a darker pink and this is much lighter. I actually prefer this one a little bit more, because when I do use this like here and down the bridge of my nose and on my chin, it gives a very kind of highlighted brightening effect, whereas this simply just mattifies and is more as just like a setting powder to me. Beautiful setting powder, but not anything like wowing me. Now the yellow setting powder, kind of the same story. I'll put a little bit here on the lid and just show you how it appears on the face. Now this is the one that claims to kind of cancel out redness and even your skin tone out a little bit, and I did notice a little bit of that on the skin. It also says it's supposed to soften your complexion, like blur it and really kind of blur out fine lines and wrinkles. And again, I saw that feature a little bit. It is mattifying, and they do claim HD as well. So for me, this one also just performed like a standard setting powder. If I put it up against something like the Too Faced Born This Way, the Etherealist setting powder that also has a little bit of a yellow hue to it, or even Ben Nye's Luxury Banana powder that has more of a yellow hue to it, the Etherealist definitely outperforms it, simply because this setting powder actually really does smooth out fine lines and wrinkles, pores, and really gives you a beautiful blurred effect. Whereas this one, I feel like just sets your makeup like a normal setting powder is supposed to do. So again, nothing that just wowed me or that I saw was anything special. It's just a really good setting powder. So there's not anything wrong with these. They're excellent setting powders. I just didn't see anything phenomenal about them outside of the packaging, which I think is freaking cool. Alright guys, so next, the one that I know you guys all have been waiting for, and that is the eyeshadow palette. And this is the Do It for the Gram eyeshadow palette, taken from obviously doing it for the Instagram, and they're doing a play on words using graham crackers. So the Do It for Your Gram is supposed to up your selfie game. It's serving up 12 shades fresh from the kitchen for all your foil, matte, and duochrome eyeshadow cravings. They do say that this palette is going to be okay for all skin tones. And here is your color range, guys. Alright guys, so this palette is giving you buildable, highly pigmented. They say it blends seamlessly, applies evenly, is long lasting, and as all of Beauty Bakerie's products are cruelty-free, vegan, paraben-free, and gluten-free. Alright guys, so we're going to swatch these colors for you, and we're going to take it one row at a time. The first row, the second row, and the third row. So let's start up here with the first row, and I am going to start this way and move this way. So we're going to start here with these two colors and then moving this way. So these are our first two colors, guys. We're going to use these two right here, and here is the swatches. So here's the light, and here is that kind of graham cracker color. Next two colors, guys, are gonna be these two right here. This is a matte and this is a foil. And we're gonna put those right here. And this is the matte, this is the foil. And this one is a little patchy, guys, and it really does apply on the eye a little patchy as well. And that's their matte formula. All right, guys, so we're gonna move down to the second row and we're gonna go into these two colors right here. All right, so the first one is that pretty blue that you saw. And then the next is that really pretty khaki kind of gold brown color. They are really pretty, guys. I will say the foils in this and the duochromes in this palette are by far my favorites. All right, next, guys, we're gonna go into another foil and then this matte right here. Wait until you see this gold. You guys are gonna die. All right, so here is the gold. Are you ready for this? Oh, look at that. That is crazy, you guys. And then here is the matte. So the matte doesn't look quite as bright as it does in the pan. And again, it's just a little dry and a little splotchy. But you can't say anything about that gold. Look at that gold. Jeez. All right, guys, now we're going into the bottom row. So we're going to do these two right here. And these are two duochromes that are really, really cool. All right, so we're going to do that purpley one first. And we'll put that one right here. And then we're going to do the green one next. And we will put it right here. And the color flip in these duochrome, guys, is so incredibly cool. That blue one actually has a really strong purpley kind of brownish pull, and that green one has almost like a brown burgundy flip to it, which I think is stunning. And then the last two colors in the palette are these two colors right here. I'm going to put those two colors on the back of my hand, guys, because I just don't want to go over that wrist bone right there. So we're going to go into that reddish tone, and then the last color, which is like a copper color, and it really is a stunning copper color. Alrighty, so the reddish tone first. We will do it right here. And the copper we will put right here. And just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So here's the whole palette, guys. I think the foils are all stunning. I think the duochromes and the flip that is in the duochromes is really, really pretty. The one area of opportunity I think there is with the palette is the mattes. I don't like the mattes in this palette. I do think the foils and the duochromes are all quite stunning. Genuinely, I really feel like these are all stunning. Look at this. That shade in and of itself is amazing. I think that this color is also amazing. I love this coppery color here and this red. I think they're stunning, but the mattes, you guys, and you know me, I am a matte girl. I love mattes because shimmers and foils and metallics and duochromes, they all show texture. So unless you have a perfectly smooth eyelid, they're gonna show texture. And so I love a good matte, and I know that really good mattes are difficult to perfect, but at this point, guys, there are drugstores that are coming out with fantastic matte palettes, so I really don't feel like difficulty is quite an excuse anymore when it comes to making a good matte. Now, they are an indie brand, and in the beginning, I would have said that would be okay for an indie brand that is, you know, small and self-sufficient, but they have grown their company quite a bit over the course of the last couple of years to to the point where they actually are mass producing product. So I do feel like at this point they can invest in perfecting their eyeshadow palettes, and I really feel like they need to put some work into their matte formulas. Other than that, I think this palette itself is worth it just for the duochromes and for the foil shadows that come in this palette. It is $38. You do get 0.1 ounces of product in each of these 12 pans. So altogether, you're getting 2.8 grams of product, which is really a good value for $38, provided that you're going to use all the pans in the palette. For me, probably not so much. I'll use a lot of these as accent colors if I'm going to do like a halo lid or just a shimmer on the inside of my eye. But because the mattes in this particular palette are not perfected yet, the mattes were really what I was drawn to because I love those warm tones. And unfortunately, they're just not a matte that works for me, so that kind of let me down. But overall, it's not a bad palette. So foils and duochromes, absolutely Erika approved. Mattes, not so much. So you're going to have to decide if this is going to be worth your $38 or not. And one other note about the packaging that I thought was just a little odd. The company itself is really about empowerment and being better, not bitter, and being a better person, and, you know, really women power, etc. And when I opened up this palette, I initially expected to see a hashtag in here that said, you know, got milk, because that kind of goes along with the milk up here and it being a graham cracker, but it actually says got MILF. So I don't know, guys. You know, if you're going to put a hashtag inside of a palette that has the F-bomb in it, this is not something that, like, if a 12-year-old was going to open it up and run up to their mom and say, Mom, what's a MILF? Or what does got MILF mean? Like, I don't want to have to explain to my child that that means a mother I'd like to, you know. So considering the mission statement and everything that the organization is about, I just thought that was a really odd choice for the inside of this palette. I feel like it just didn't go with like the whole theme, but that could just be me. So it absolutely doesn't bother me, but there are some people out there that it might bother. So buyer beware, just make sure you know it's in there. And if you're getting it for a youngster, be ready to explain that hashtag. All right, guys, so that is it for the review of the Beauty Bakerie and its products. So my final thoughts on the overall line. Number one, I absolutely adore the owner's story, her inspiration, where she came from, and the platform that she's using to embetter women's lives and encourage them to be better and not bitter. I love that philosophy. And I think going into 2018, that's an amazing philosophy and hopefully one that all of us in the beauty community can adhere to. However, I do feel like there are some formulas in the collection that need to be revisited, especially now that they've become such a sensation and probably have the resources to be able to do that. Lines are constantly improving their products and making them better, and I think that the Beauty Bakerie definitely should do that. I think they should revisit a few of their staples and maybe come out with a revamped version of them. I also feel like they need to do some work on their mattes. They're such easy products to make now, and they're so easy to perfect them. I really kind of don't think there's an excuse for mattes to be patchy anymore. But as for the rest of the shadows, I used them. They all blended out seamlessly. The longevity of the eyeshadows is fantastic. They were still on at the end of the day. The duochromes and the foils look really good in the center of the lid as an accent color. I really like them for that purpose. So overall, I really thought the palette was a cute palette. Just can't Erika approve it because the mattes just aren't up to par. But what an innovative and amazing line this was to explore. This has got to be the packaging win for all lines that I've ever seen, like ever. The packaging is absolutely adorable. I think the theme that they came up with as far as the Beauty Bakerie and really sticking with that theme and implementing it through all the products in their line is absolutely brilliant and an absolute genius marketing move. So kudos to them. awesome. Keep doing it, Beauty Bakerie, and I will keep my eye on you. I'm definitely going to be looking for new products coming out in the future, and hopefully the next palette will be just a little bit better when it comes to the mattes. And to my subscribers that requested that I investigate this line, I really appreciate it. This was a blast for me, and I had a lot of fun doing it. As far as the subscriber series is concerned, it is still going on and will continue over the course of the next 2 weeks. So if you guys have any content that you would like to see, make sure you include it in the comments down below. If you're new here, welcome. We would love to have you, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget the little bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, guys, and feel free to share it with your friends and family. I hope everybody has a wonderful, blessed, happy, and safe new year, and I will catch you guys in the next video.